That's not supposed to be there. What's happened? We've had a big windstorm last night and it's obviously broken the bow line, so it's snapped off. Luckily the mooring line is held on, otherwise it could have ended up anywhere. It was quite a ferocious windstorm. Doesn't look like there's any damage though. They're pretty solid hulls, these old fiberglass. There's a big concrete weight out there, about probably 2 meters deep at the moment. I'll row out there and put a new rope and loop it round, put a pulley on there so that I can bring the boat in even when it's high tide. Burn these ends later on so they don't fray. So that'll hold it there until the tide comes in. Wow, that's pretty frayed as well. That wouldn't have lasted much longer either. This is the old dinghy I got for $5 4 years ago. Had big holes in the hull, so I patched it up and it's been fine ever since. Just basically gets left on the beach most of the time, exposed to the elements. It's holding up pretty well. There it is. Okay, so I'll take this one off and put the new rope on there. Alright, that'll do it. So I'll attach this stainless pulley to that rope, put a loop back from the beach to the boat, and I should be able to pull it back and forth just using the pulley. You can also use a stainless steel ring for this, but I find it sort of cuts through the rope eventually if you're using it long term, whereas a pulley it gives sort of more of a radius for the rope to go around, so I prefer a pulley. That's pretty sturdy. I always like to have a backup stern rope. There's another little mooring out there, I'll tie it to that. So I just tie this one up to the ski pole, just short enough so that if this one breaks, the boat can't go onto the trees and the rocks. Alright, job done. So it's got the backup rope to that little mooring, and the pulley rope is going from this corner around the pulley and back to the tree up there. So when the tide comes in, that should pull it out a little bit because there's tension on those two. So I'll come back when it's floating and see how that pulley system works. And so now I should be able to just undo this rope here and pull the other one and it should go out. It's working. So once I get it out there, it'll be afloat even at low tide, and I can pull it in any time of the tide. So I've just tied up the beach end and tied the bow line up over there, and yeah, done. Easy as. So if I want to pull it back in, I just undo this rope, let that out, and then pull this one in. See, that line's just pulling through the pulley, and it comes. That backup line, that's just stopping it from coming all the way in to the beach. So if the pulley lets go for any reason, that one's still holding on, and so the boat can't come and hit the rocks. So that's working well. You could also use an anchor out there as well, to put the pulley on if you're just doing it temporarily. So that way I can put the boat out or bring it in at any level of tide and don't really even have to get wet. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I can figure it out.
So this one here, we untie at that knot, and then you just pull that one, and that rope goes through a pulley out there. So we just pull this one in and it should come in. Pretty straightforward, eh?
Yeah.
See how you go.